But then, as fate would have it, the person who became MP instead of me committed suicide. And when this suicide happened, people came to me and they said, you know, this was something from God. God wants you to go back into parliament. And I was stupid enough, I think, to believe this. So I said, I'm going to contest.
The games being played with dictatorship were creating extreme poverty among the people. A system of patronage in which leaders owe their position to the president became pervasive and was most apparent during the elections.
When we went to count for the vote counting, we found a whole army stationed outside the counting hall, the GSU, armed with, is it called riot gear? And we knew that the election was rigged. There was no other reason the army could be there, the GSU, the police, fully dressed for battle. People became so disappointed after the rigging that for the first time I saw people tearing up their voting cards and saying, we will never vote again if this is what elections are all about.
In 1986, an underground movement called Mwakenya began publishing a pamphlet called Pambana. It criticized the government over the destitution and desperation that corruption was causing amongst Kenyans. The authorities claimed a massive plot to overthrow the government and sought culprits.
I was also receiving very grave threats from the people in power, and we called a family meeting and we debated, what would we do given the seriousness of these threats? And we decided that the best thing is to escape into exile.
I think, every time you used to talk anything political or even discuss anything, you'd have to look over your shoulder.
They moved me blindfolded to Parklands police station, where I was held until evening. When it got dark, they brought a Land Rover, blindfolded me and pushed me into that Land Rover and brought me down here.
And out of 74 days, I was not given any food or water for 24 days.
And it was terrible. It was terrible. And there was hot air. Sometimes it would become very cold. Very cold. And then here up, they used to bang something, I think. And lucky enough I was a Catholic. And whenever they would bang this thing, I would also listen with their banging so that I don't break up.
So what used to happen is they would blindfold you from the cells. And then they would lead you by your hands like you lead a blind person and bring you here to these lifts. This lift would then go with you up to the 25th story. And then there on top, they would walk with you.
The attic of the Nyayo house is where they were throwing people from and saying that they were committing suicide.
This place was very dark. They beat me with blunt objects, miti ya nini mbao, whips, wananipiga huku chini. So all the way.
My back was broken. The joints had been disconnected through the physical torture.
Operation Demetrius. I came to learn later on that is the system, what they call the British system of that torture has been adopted in our country here.
These policemen told me that under the command of Opio, they are actually the eyes of Nyayo. And that is why they are in Nyayo house. I don't know what they actually meant by that.
I was taken to court. And when we went to court, the funny thing about the court was the people who are there, they are the same people who are beating me. And the people are not allowed to go into the court. So that again, you find that you are now again caged. You cannot escape because it's not a public court.
I have no alternative because I I want to end my life. I don't want